Animal Hospital fucking sucks. This game is absolute dog shit. But for some reason, people have been completely eating this shit up. It's insane how big this game became out of nowhere, seeing how it has absolutely no redeeming qualities. Still, for some reason, at any given time, this game has more active players than Luxembourg the country has citizens. So today we will be going over every single reason why this game is dog water, and at the end we'll also discuss some genuine safety concerns I have. Now, before I completely drag this game through the mud, let me first explain what this game is actually about. So, you are an intern at this animal hospital, and for some reason the entire hospital relies on you. The patients are these weird but cute looking animal creatures that you not only have to check into the hospital but also treat. But not all of these patients are normal. No, some of them are anomalies. These anomalies are possessed by demons and they want to murder you and your patient. And for some reason, you as the intern has been chosen to prevent this. Besides that, there are also actual monsters actively hunting you and your patients down. Essentially, anything in this hospital is trying to fucking kill you. Now, there's really no way to win this game as there is an infinite amount of patients you can treat, but you lose the game once you die or 3 of your patients have died. Which, by the way, not only anomalies and monsters kill your patients, but also wrong treatment. I tried to give everyone weed once, that did not work. Now, let's be honest, that sounds like a very cool concept for a game, but genuinely everything besides the concept is just complete dog shit. But if you've enjoyed the video thus far, make sure to subscribe to the channel as I need money. You're broke! Now, the first major issue that Animal Hospital has is that it might be the slowest game ever made. Genuinely, 90% of what you do in this game is waiting for some dumbass machine to finish what it's doing. And the time that you're not waiting on some machine, you're waiting for your slow-ass patients to get through the room. Because holy shit, are these creatures slow. I swear to god, my shit comes out quicker than these motherfuckers get to the room. And then after a decade, when these creatures finally reach the room, you have to click one button and then you have to wait for one of the machines. You are essentially playing Waiting Simulator. Genuinely, the only thing slower than the speed at which these creatures walk at is the speed at which they talk. Because for some reason it takes 10 seconds for one of these creatures to say the simple word hey, and you're basically forced to sit through it because you can't do anything up until they're done talking. Okay, but we've discussed the insane amount of waiting. How about the actual gameplay? I don't know how these developers made this possible, but for some reason the gameplay is more boring than the waiting. Because everything you do in this game, every single bit of gameplay comes down to pressing E. You want to take a biopsy of one of your patients? E. You are doing a surgery on one of your patients? E. You are trying to save one of your patients from a cannibalistic skinwalker that is eating it? E. Genuinely, everything you do in this game is press E. That is all the gameplay there is. And no, you should not expect a full-fledged comeback system in a hospital simulator, but I expected a little bit more than E. Now, believe it or not, but the incredible waiting times and the rather lacking gameplay is only the start of the issues that Animal Hospital has. Now, I do understand that Animal Hospital is a newer game, so we gotta cut it some slack on this one. But honestly, there is barely any content in the game. I think if it wasn't for the incredible waiting times, you could have seen every single thing within like 10 minutes of playing this game. Yes, there are a bunch of different ways to spot the anomalies, but usually the anomalies either start a ritual in their hospital room, or they just randomly get up out of bed and start eating other patients. Then you have the issues you run into. This can be cameras that randomly break, or creatures that decide to randomly shit green goo onto the floor, but they're basically the same shit in a different skin because they're all resolved by just holding E. Yes, they all look different, but there isn't really variation in what you need to do. So all these issues basically become one big pile of repetitive bullshit. Then you also have the monsters you can run into, which honestly these can be quite unique, and there's also quite a bit of variation, which is very cool. But for some reason you only see a few of the monsters because some are just incredibly rare to spot. I keep running into these little chameleons and this one big black dude, which now that I say that doesn't sound quite right. But for some reason I have never spotted one of these tendrils. Besides that, these monsters have one major issue. And this is an issue that the game in general has too, by the way. And that is that there is generally really no threat in this game. Yes, your character can die in the game and you lose the game if that happens, but you can basically outrun every single monster in the game. I've never really felt like any of these monsters were really dangerous as I'm just faster than them, or I can just avoid doing one singular thing to make sure that they do not murder me. For example, with this scary roof dude, I can just not look at him and I will not take damage. And with the monster under the bed, do not stand in the obvious red square and you're totally fine. It is kind of disappointing that there's really no threat in this game, because the game is listed as a survival game, but as long as you don't do something obviously stupid, you'll be fine. Now, I did promise to also talk about a serious safety concern I had with the game, which honestly isn't inherently the game, but more so the community around it. See, some people saw these characters and thought, well, yes, but what if they had boobas? Now, if you're into this sort of stuff, I'm not gonna shame you for it. Do what you want to do, I suppose. videos. But maybe not publicly post this sort of art, because children are looking up the favorite characters from their new favorite game. And instead of finding the character model they know from the game, they find it with big boobas. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. This is a new sort of content. I really enjoy making this more than the regular slop I do. So subscribe if you enjoyed it too. Bye.